Hey guys, it is Survivor Nomad and I am back with another video. I'm still in Chicago and I just want to talk to you guys today about being manipulated by narcissists, okay? Some of you guys are already gotten out of your abusive relationships, and I'm sure you've heard that it's very common to be sucked right back into another narcissistic and or abusive relationship after you've gotten out of a relationship with the narcissist. And I just want to talk about that today. I was on Quora the other night and I was reading through some of the posts from narcissists who claim to be in therapy. I don't know if they are or not. Maybe they are. If they are, good for them. That's great. I think that's really good. But I just want former abuse survivors or those who are currently going through abuse from narcissists to think about a couple of things, okay? I just noticed a lot of victims on there, telling these so-called reformed narcissists how proud they are of them, and oh my God, you're doing so great. Thank you for, telling us the truth, and blase, 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 on and on and on, okay? Guys, be very, very careful, especially on social media, because a lot of these so-called reformed narcissists, they are looking for fuel. They're looking for fuel. They know why you are on these websites. They know why you are on these YouTube pages, and they lurk these pages, guys. I just want you to be aware. I'm not saying that they're not going for therapy and they're not at least trying to get help. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is to protect yourself. Be careful, because some of them are sincere and some of them are not. And a lot of times, especially when you're just coming out of an abusive relationship, you can't tell which is which, okay? You don't know which is which. And so it behooves you to just be careful. Just try to stay away from it, guys, because you can get sucked right back into another abusive relationship. There are countless testimonials of victims who got out of one abusive narcissistic relationship and got right into another, okay? It is my opinion that if you have been in any kind of abusive situation, you shouldn't be dating right away anyway, but that's just my thoughts on that. You guys are adults, you do what you want to do, because I feel like you're vulnerable at that time. But if you so desire to date, go right ahead. I'm just saying, be careful. When you're on these social media sites and you're giving your opinion, protect yourself. Don't give out personal information. There are a lot of narcissists that just, they just hoover around and troll these web pages where they know victims are. They know you've already been susceptible to that kind of manipulation, so you're a very, very good target. So keep that in mind. You would be a great target for anybody who is a predator, okay? Because they know 9 times out of 10 you have that empathetic nature, and they can use your emotions against you, and a lot of times that's what they do. So I was reading some postings, and some abuse victims were on there, and they were telling this narcissist all these wonderful things about herself. And I went up to read what she had posted, and it was basically her saying how she had hurt some guy and she regretted it. And the reason she regretted it was because people thought they were such a power couple. She missed the way the guy made her feel and all of this stuff. And it was all just things that you would say if you didn't really miss a person, but you miss kind of the perks that came along with dating that person, and not necessarily miss that person. And I found it to be very, selfish and very narcissistic-like, basically. I mean, to me, it didn't seem to me that this person was expressing regret at all for having hurt another person. She did not sound remorseful one bit. In fact, she sounded like she was bragging about the fact that this guy had been hurt terribly by some things she had done to him. And then at the bottom of her post, I see all of these survivors, applauding her. Oh, thank you so much for coming here and telling the truth and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, what truth has she told? All she said is that she hurt this guy and that she regretted it. But then she went on to say that she missed certain things about the relationship. That was what caused her regret. And those things were, I missed how people saw us as a power couple. I miss how jealous other people were of us. I miss how he made me feel. He was so good at pampering me. I mean, all of that stuff, none of it expressed, oh, I'm sorry that I actually hurt this person the way I did. None of it. So just be aware that just because somebody says that they're recovering and does not mean that they truly are. You have to really read between the lines. And I talked about in my post, I actually responded and I talked about how narcissists tell on themselves through subtlety. She posted a black heart behind the things she was saying. And none of the things she was saying were any evidence to me that she was sorry for anything. And I couldn't believe that so many people were falling for it. But, at the end of the day, I obviously fell for manipulations before, so I can't really judge anybody for it because I've fallen for manipulations as well. But I'm just saying it was really shocking that so many people were just applauding this girl and basically singing her praises, even though to me she just sounded like she was bragging about having hurt someone, and she was mainly there just to get more fuel. Okay, so just be careful, guys. They will come on to YouTube and to Quora and to some of these other sites where they know that women and men and women are on there, and they're even support groups, even narcissistic support groups where abuse victims go to feel validated. They will come on there and they'll gaslight you, they'll manipulate you, they'll attempt to do all of that stuff right there in the forum. They'll tell you things like, well, why did you let that person abuse you? Well, you must have done something to the person for them to have done the things that you said they did. So they will try to trigger you. You have to be very, very careful. Protect yourself. I would go off of social media and give myself a diet from it. Like, I think after you've been abused by a narcissist, you really need a soul diet. Meaning that anything that's not good for your soul, you really don't need to be doing it. Stay away from social media when you're trying to recover from narcissistic abuse, because all that's going to be there is things that are going to trigger you, that are going to make you feel sad, that are going to make you feel regret, all that kind of stuff. It's really not a good place for somebody who's recovering from abuse. It's not a good place to be, because, you get to want to look at your abuser's Facebook and you want to look at his Twitter and his Instagram, and you're starting to feel like, oh, he's so happy, he or she is doing so much better without me, and then you get caught up in all of this fantasy that they're presenting to you. It's all been orchestrated just for you, and you start to second guess your decision to break free from that nonsense. Stay away from it, guys. Stay away from it. There's no need to do it. Give yourself a time period to heal, and then maybe after you've healed, go back to it. But I would say stay away from it for at least 6 months to a year. Just, go no social media, go no contact, and stay away from it, because it's damaging. I just watched that girl on Quora and how it sucked so many people into this story, and I'm like, how can they all not see that she's just manipulating them. And that just goes to show there's a lot of victims who think they're healed who are not. And they're vulnerable to being abused again. So please keep your eyes and ears open for that kind of thing. And I really don't think it's a good idea for us to be applauding narcissists. We know what narcissists do, guys. We all know what they do. We know what their game is. And, you know, if you've truly been with a narc, you know they never tell the truth. They lie chronically. They're perpetual and habitual liars. So it's, I mean, I just can't understand for the life of me why somebody would believe anything that they say, especially someone who's been abused before by a narcissist, because you know what kind of people they are. You know what they're capable of, and they're just not to be trusted, period. Okay? Period with the T. I just would not trust them. So be careful, guard yourself, protect yourself. And I would say, like I said, go on a soul diet, stay away from social media, for God's sakes, please stay away from their pages, stay away from their social media altogether. Do not go near them, and don't go near them in terms of in the social media world. Just forget that they exist. Okay? So I'm gonna head into this restaurant and have some dim sum, and I will see you guys on the next video.